Oop. Oop. Let me see if I can get this button out. And poop. Not sure. I can't. Oh, I can zoom. Oh, yeah, this makes it better. Some of our friendly deer coming to visit. But let me put my phone back in its holder. Alright. So, what we're going to try to see is how bad is the, I know it's going to be crazy camera shake, but we're going to see how bad is the reception as I bebop a little bit here in town. So, alright. So, first up, phone out of its case. We are truly testing to see how all this works. That is the Fulton Mansion. It's part of what the town is named after. But so that is Aransas Bay. And if you could see way across there, you could see the backside of San Jose Island. That's our barrier island. I believe Padre Island is one of, if not the longest barrier island in the world. That runs pretty much from Mexico up to Corpus Christi. Then you got a little bit of a gap. Then you got Mustang Island that goes up to Port Aransas. Then you got the Corpus Christi Ship Channel. Then you have San Jose Island, which would go over to about there. Cedar Bayou, Vinson Slough separates San Jose Island from Matagorda Island, and that goes up to like Port O'Connor. But this is Aransas Bay. I hope this is coming through. This is just like a little bonus stream. But thought I would, ooh, little fishies running. So this is Aransas Bay. This is the bay that's here with near our house. Saltwater Bay. Look. There's a little striped hermit crab inside there. That shell is a Atlantic moon snail. All of this is concrete breakwater because this is like residential. Like I said, that is the Fulton Mansion. I'll walk up there in just a second. But today is much better than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a craptastic, typical summer day on the coast where it winds up being about 90 degrees with 90% humidity. And I installed the solar panels on the van, which one of the things that I want to cover today will actually be getting us out there, going up to the warehouse. But I thought I would pop on here and show you kind of what it's like where I live. I do like the fact that our town and a portion of Texas does like to put their road right along the water so everybody can share the view. I know in like North Carolina, places that I've been in North Carolina and Florida, you can't actually drive onto the beach, but here in Texas we actually allow people to drive onto the beach. But we got laughing gulls over there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and come back across the street. That's my scooter. So that's the Fulton Mansion. It's the only house that in our area that has a basement. Because if you dig down like 18 inches, then you're getting into water. So I'm gonna keep walking up this way. I'm gonna park the scooter right there for a second. Let y'all see this. And he's at there. Some of the family is actually buried in the cemetery here. But I don't know if that said it was called Oakhurst, was the actual name of the house. But here you go. And that is a Texas historical landmark. So the crazy history of this, we'll say modern history. So that's the mansion itself. You got 3 stories going up, kind of a half story going down, and you have this beautiful courtyard and everything. Well, when I was a kid, this was actually a U-drive and a trailer park, and that was actually a abandoned, dilapidated building. I'm really glad that they decided to restore it. But see, the cool thing is with this app I can actually zoom in. So that's the Fulton Mansion. Again, 1870s. Oh good, it does say Oakhurst on there. And there's like a wicked garden that goes around behind it with like wildflowers and that kind of stuff. And the view was of Aransas Bay. So that's the first little stop on our scooting adventures. Put that back in its case. Flip that around. So now, this is, I'm hoping this actually comes through for you guys, so you can actually see some of this stuff. We are running on a Wi-Fi signal and running on a scooter, so it's just kind of also testing to see how things look. A couple of drops, rain wanting to pick back up. Whee! Sorry I can't really give you a view, but the holder on my scooter is more for security than filming. I'm in downtown Fulton. All whopping like 4 blocks of it. To stop right in the middle of loading and unloading. La, la, la. So anybody that's out there watching, if you could let me know like how bad the quality on this is, I would appreciate it. Like I said, this is playing around. I gotta keep popping a cell phone holder. But I have to keep popping the phone in and out of. But this is Fulton Harbor. All of these are shrimp / oyster boats coming in. That's the Fulton Harbor bait stand, and the Aransas County Bait Company. I'm gonna try to do something kind of crazy. You may or may not witness me crashing. No, that's not gonna sit there. Dang. Oh, Grumpy. Yep, so that's the Fulton harbor. Glad this is actually working out. This is our little like fairgrounds area where they do like the Oyster Fest and stuff like that. This is one of 2 areas, but you can use little pavilions. That's right there on Aransas Bay. That's the Fulton Irish Pub and Grill, and right beside it is actually the historic remains of an old rendering plant. Rockport was a big cattle area, but it was more so for the leather and tallow than it was for just the beef. And although it is 2 towns, yeah, those are shrimp and oyster boats. A large percentage actually of the oysters and stuff that go out into our section of the country come out of here. So you've got those that will dredge and they'll bring up the oysters and then they sack them, and then you've got boats like this that will run out there, meet the boat, unload the oyster sacks so that the boat can keep going. They do have some oyster dredges that are on there, and there are a few pleasure boats. All right, Remus, no problem. And that's the Aransas Bay Bait Company. And this is, they're finishing up. They got the pier rebuilt from Hurricane Harvey, and now they're rebuilding like what was the like bait, I don't want to call it the bait shack because you get your bait like right over here, but like the check-in point. Let me shut that off, take off my sunglasses. So gulls, ooh, there's a greater egret. Just chilling there. Let's see if I can. Everybody. Yes, Neek, I am reading you. What I'm gonna try to see if I can do is, okay, I'm gonna hide that for a second. So that's an egret, and he's looking for some food. Zoom back out. I'm glad this is working. So right there, it's probably about 4 or 5 feet deep. But oh, good, I'm glad. That was part of doing this test, was seeing how things are gonna work. Families going out on the pier fishing. So, although we have Rockport and we have Fulton, most people refer to this area as Rockport Fulton. Rockport has kind of surrounded Fulton. Combined population, we're talking like 11,000 people. And out there is a great blue heron. That's a great blue heron out on the end. We're about 35 miles up the coast from Corpus. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're giving out your personal information. I own a business. I own a business. Y'all know my business. I'm always, gee, I wonder what business I'm in. I'm always wearing the shirts. And like our business address is searchable, so I'm not that concerned. All right, let's put this phone back in there with my slightly damp screen. Let's see if I can unlock and get you back open. There we go. Oh, might have to actually started the scooter back up. Oh yeah, I mean, like I don't, you know, it's the other thing is, you've seen my van. Because I park my van in front of our house, everyone knows. Like, everyone around us. My wife said, her job, she has to go visit people, and they know where we live based on my vehicle. Slowing down for some seagulls. I haven't seen a massive drop in the battery life. I'm sure it is using a lot of resources. If you're riding in a scooter, obey the traffic laws. That was a stop sign. About to get passed by a tractor. You know, you live in a small town when there's tractors driving down the road. And golf carts are legal on the streets here. Again, driving through the huge downtown Fulton area, all 4 blocks of it. Sorry that the phone can't really show you guys, but you would just be staring at the road. All right. So, our coastal town is on what is called like they call this area Live Oak Peninsula, and here's why. So those are live oaks. They kind of grow however they want to, and you can see how we have to like maneuver the streets around some of these like old oaks. At some point I'll probably go out to Big Tree and show y'all Big Tree. That's like a 1,200-year-old massive live oak, and we've got palmettos, but this is kind of like what my neighborhood looks like. Is you're going around these like big old oaks, and in some cases the road would actually split around a tree in the center. It's not uncommon for them to kind of go, hey, we're gonna, the tree's more important than the road. So I'm gonna see, put that back in. Open this, are you gonna open back up? I'm gonna slide that around. Okay. I mean, you're gonna have the handlebar. You're gonna have the handlebar. I won't be able to see the chat coming in, but I'll still talk to you. Oh, here we go. So it's not uncommon to have a tree in the middle of the road. Yeah, we've got some pretty good nature. So we have a couple of options right now. I can go into my warehouse and continue chatting, or I can drive around a bit more. Do y'all want to see some more of... I'm trying to think where all I can go on my scooter. Although it is starting to get a bit hot. I'll at least grab a drink when I'm here at the warehouse. Parking. So this is what my cell phone sits in. This kind of stretches out around it, and then this stretches around the other side and really holds it in place. Oh, I forgot that I can't actually adjust that. Shut my scooter off. Get the keys out. So if you ever want to come visit, the combination to the lock is so there you go. Now you know it. Hope there wasn't any technical difficulties while I stated that. So this is my empty warehouse. The van's in here because I was doing the install on the solar panels. But normally, how that one's standing up, that's a used demo boat. Normally, this whole rack would have like 70 kayaks in it. But I've got a warehouse here, a warehouse in Louisiana. So yeah, I don't think I've actually been able to show you all the kayaks, but that's like our flagship. There would be a seat right there. That is a sail I can put on my kayaks. You can paddle them. There is also a motor option. But that's a yeah, that's a Pacific Action sail. They're made in Australia. And oh, here you go. What do we have in the fridge? Water, Gatorade, frozen Gatorades, frozen water, because we're all healthy, right? Then a few different beers. So one of the things that I like is in my travels, I get to go around and try beers from different places around the country. And sometimes they make it home with me. Oh, don't tell me the oscillator went out again. Okay, good. I got my big shop fan. That's a motor from a one that the oscillator went out on. Doop, doop, doop. And that's the shop fan, the little fan that finally died after like 3 years. Did I get that up high enough? Let's see. Currently, we are. This is inside the warehouse. We've been overcast and everything. Oh, for unique, boop, there. That's what we're at today. The sun really hasn't come up. We had storming last night. There's all my wiring coming in. from the solar panels. I'll be hooking it up to yeah, I mean, like, just when I pulled up, from the time I pulled up to the warehouse to walking in here, I'm starting to sweat. Oh, I keep forgetting I can't put my hand there. Yeah, that, so does that actually keep me right side up? That's what I need to know. Am I right side up or am I sideways? So it automatically adjusts. That's something that the Twitch app doesn't do. So yeah, I think the Streamlabs app is, I'm actually using the Streamlabs app. Killer Caress! Oh. Oh. I can't type in chat. That's the only thing about these apps. I can see chat, but I can't like type anything. So let me shift this over. Whew. Oh, this is it's not a like a jumper. It's a what they call a performance shirt. It blocks the sun, and they're actually quite comfortable. So, bloop. This is what we did yesterday. Getting the solar panels up here, mounted. Oh, good, that is set. There's 2 holes drilled underneath here that my wiring's going into. What's up, strong hand? That my wiring's going into. So all that's left for me to do is bring these over, tighten these up with Loctite, gather up my loose cabling, and I'll do some zip tying with it. So do some cable management, tighten down my actual panels. And then come in here and trim this stuff up to the length that I'm gonna need it. Put the ends on it so that it will hook up to that thing, and then it'll power my power supply. And then running the wiring all up in that channel. But I just wanted to double check that sealant and everything had cured. And it has. So I'll have to keep forgetting I'm all close up there. Finish up the stuff up there, pull the van out so sunlight's hitting it, go in, double check my wires, make sure that I don't have reversed polarity, any of that stuff. Sorry. Any reversed polarity, make sure that everything's still functioning. And that'll be it for the install. It's 400 watts of solar. Like max capacity is 400 watts of solar. So my battery bank could take 800, I think 700 or 800 watts of input. So the nice thing is I do have it plugged in. Right now it's plugged in to that cord, keeping my batteries topped off. Oh no, it's 800 watts of input. The storage capacity is I think this one's 1300 watts. Oh no, wait. No, 1300 watt hours. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah. Black licorice. Depends on what all I'm running. Majority of the time, the fridge freezer are constantly running. I got another fan in there. And then charging our electronics, all of that stuff. We lose about 20 to 25% overnight with nothing happening. So if there's no input coming in, we would potentially deplete about 20 to 25% of our battery overnight, just charging our stuff, the fridge, freezer, the fans, all of that stuff. But then as soon as we start up the van and start driving, it charges from the alternator. If we are in a place that we can plug in, we plug in. And that's why I was putting the solar panels on, because then if I'm parked someplace, because what normally happens is I like to park like out on the beach or something where there's not power. When we were in Santa Fe, we were like at an RV park. Sometimes I can park at friends' houses and plug in, but a lot of times I like to be out in nature. And so with the solar panels, that'll be recharging that battery pack. Yeah, so that they'll be recharging the battery pack when the van's just sitting there. If there was a I really need power now, I could start up the van and we could charge off of it. So that stuff is gonna be, but man, okay, so yesterday it was probably 10 degrees hotter in here and then the humidity, and I was up on top of that van, so I'm up in like the hot airspace, and no matter how much Gatorade I drank, like I drank probably 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons of fluid yesterday. I only peed once, which, if you can go that long without having to urinate, your body's using all of that water, and you're sweating it out and all of that. So like, hydration is a big thing. Well, I mean, just since I walked in here, I've been sweating. Yeah, when I got through, honestly, the clothes I was wearing, it looked like I had jumped in a pool. Dude, this is crazy, because I'm like, by seeing your comments and me responding to them, the latency, like the lag on this app, is far superior to the Twitch app. Yeah, John, it does get hot in here. I mean, we've got, it's just corrugated metal, steel frame. I mean, I've got some jalouses. I've got my big Air King fan, and I've got a small fan over there. I just try, generally in the summertime, I try not to be in here in the middle of the day. The OBS app, it's the Streamlabs actual app. You can go to the Google Play Store, and it's the Streamlabs app. So, Stronghand, you might check that out, because it's going off of cell signal, not off of internet. So as far as, like, I would give it a download and a test, because you may be able to go outside with it. I just keep showing y'all my empty warehouse. Oh, that is actually some guy from New Zealand, the marketing company that rebranded us. But the fun thing is, oh, hey, here we go. I was trying to figure out something, because there's still some information that I don't necessarily want out in the public, but I can do something. Oh, no, yeah, the solar panels, thank you. What I want to do is see. I'm gonna tape something up so I can show you something cool. Just a second. So, one of the plans, I'm sure it's already popped out there, but I'm just going to try to be careful. One of the plans that we have for our road travels is doing this. Okay, so first off, the reason why it's kind of cool is if you're behind me in traffic, that's what you're looking at. But if you'll notice, there's a little sneakiness going on. We're being, oh, I can't really do anything about the bots right now. We're doing something sneaky with our subscribers. Because when I'm doing this type of chat, I can't enter stuff in. So what we want to do for our subscribers is still have the ability to do shout outs. So the way that we're going to be doing shout outs is by sliding in. Whoop. So we're making a bunch of those for our subscribers so that I could still do shout outs, that kind of stuff. Also, because there are people like Bink and Neek and some of these guys that don't live here in the States. And so what we thought would be fun is to be able to like pull up at the beach in Florida, slide open the doors. So there's, just imagine all the beach in the background. So there'd be like, oh, the Pacific, the Atlantic Ocean behind me, and be able to like, boop. We just thought that would be a neat thing to do for our subscribers, is to be able to give them shout outs across the country. It's a super simple thing, but we just thought something different, something a little, just so part of our way of being able to give back is being able to, you know, take you guys along with us on these trips and give y'all the shout outs. Because see, if I do it that way, it like does the whole backward thing. But if I do that, then it's correct. And we've got a few of them. Bink's not even here, so Killer Caress, you just tell him, hey. Oh, it actually does write it. But we've got a little stack of them that we're going to be doing. I wasn't sure if it did the like reverse thing. All right. So now I've hydrated. So you guys in chat have a couple of options. I can actually like start working on the van and we can have the conversation, or I can drive you around town a little bit more. It's not too bad out here. Oh lordy, without my sunglasses. All right. Bum, bum, bum. I'm just glad that this is actually working. That makes me so excited because I will be headed back to Florida. My hotspot isn't going to be here in time, but I will be headed back to Florida. Trigger warning for all the people that don't like black licorice. I will be headed back to Florida, and I wanted to make sure that it would work. Yesterday, when I was up there on the van, I got a wicked Charlie horse right here, like at the beginning of my tricep. And so now I've got like a little bit of weakness. So pulling down that garage door was a little bit of a struggle. Lock the door. Double check keys. Yep. We're all locked up. I'm trying to think where else. Oh, I know where. All right. Oh, forgot my kickstand was out. Close up my kickstand. Stretch. Oh, it came out of the bottom. There we go. So what angle does that give y'all there? Y'all are pretty much just staring straight down. And there. Yeah, you can kind of see. Whoop. I got to slide this without unscrewing the... That doesn't really give y'all much to... Yeah, the throttle's in the way a little. Who knows? Maybe y'all will actually get to watch me have a collision or a wreck. Oh, I will. I've learned not to take off on this gravel drive. Unmarked Sheriff Department. Okay, while I'm driving, I won't be able to see chat, but I'm going to try to get to our location pretty quickly, and I may have commentary along the way. The courthouse got destroyed in Harvey, and this was originally it was an old grocery store, then it was Ace Hardware, and now it's our courthouse. And then dip dip, I'm going behind gym. This way I just don't have to deal with traffic. But I'm taking you to one of our neat little places that you could observe wildlife. Little off-road. I'm going at a slower speed than normal. Because normally I'm doing this at a time when there's less traffic. There's a lip that I always jump over there. And I gotta duck down to get through these trees. All right. Yeah, I was riding on the scooter. I'm catching up on chat. So, let me see if I can get my throttle out of the way. Oh, you're focusing on the wire. There we go. Even though there is like, I didn't bring my lock, like solid land, it's marsh. So you can see the water. Ow. I just caught the kickstand. But this is part of Tule Creek. And what I'm going to do, pipeline, is I'm gonna park this so I don't kick it again. But true Tule, you can see a concrete kind of barricade. That's the true Tule Creek. This is just kind of a little wetland off of Tule Creek. And we've had a lot of rain lately, and we did have the, and all those purple flowers are coming. There's like a vine that grows. Oh, an ibis. That's an ibis. We will get those all over a lot of places here. You'll get them in your front yard. And that beak is awesome because as they're feeding, they're like poking that beak in and it's aerating your grass. So is the signal still good? Or did it like go crappy? And there's a great blue heron. And these are all sunflowers that will eventually bloom up. We've got big ones and Maximilian sunflowers. It's a lot quieter out here than normal. Normally you would have different types of ducks. And again, although this looks like solid land, it's a marsh. I'm gonna flip it real quick. Bloop. Yeah, like I'm operating at like 30.5, well around, let's say 30 FPS and 3800 bits, and got like 2 or 3 bars. So these will be in our backyard a lot, these black-bellied whistling ducks. So that's one of our little wildlife areas. I'm going to walk on the other side of the scooter so I don't ankle bump the kickstand mechanism. So yes, Neek, welcome to Rockport, Texas. You are currently walking down a wildlife observation boardwalk in Rockport, Texas. Pepper tree. Pepper trees are an invasive species, and we really wish they would go away. But they're just getting in that shade. Oh. So this is what a lot of Rockport looks like. They're live oaks that just kind of grow however they want. And what I'll be able to show you here in a bit duck under the branches. Ooh, that's a killer one right there. Water is way too tannic. A lot of times there's gar that hang out right around here, and I was going to show y'all some of our gar, but that water is way too tannic. That's our cemetery. Some of the grave sites in that cemetery go back to the like Texas independence. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Texas fought for its independence and became its own country in 1836. So yeah, it's a pretty historic cemetery. It's a pretty neat cemetery. We do have a pretty decent Hispanic Catholic population here, and so every November 1st, that's All Saints Day, and then the Day of the Day of the Dead, Dias de los Muertos, they will come out and they will have like the whole family gathered around some of these grave sites. So, all right. Everybody hanging in there? Yep. All right, so those houses that you see across the water, that's an area called Key Alegro. There's a bridge back over that way, so that there's like one way on and off that little island. When my mom first started coming here, that was all marsh. They built up all of that land, and now that's like $1 million homes. If you're familiar with older country, you may know a guy named George Strait. George Strait's house is like right over there. George Strait comes down here. Johnny Depp comes down here. So now I'm going to zip down this road and show you one of the things that Rockport is famous for. So, when I said that live oaks grow however they want, when you have a prevailing wind coming off of the water, they do this. These are the famous wind-swept oaks of Rockport, Texas. A lot of the promotional stuff that our Chamber of Commerce does and that will generally have these on there. Because, like, I mean, you could see, that's the trunk and it just goes. And let's see. That bird that is on top of that tree is about 4.5 feet tall. The great blue herons will nest in the tops of those. Did it catch up or is it still loading? They've got the stuff out in the water, these barricades, they're going to be working on the road to help with the erosion. Because when I say that our roads run along the water, I mean our roads run along the water. And this is Little Bay. It has an inlet straight across from us out to Aransas Bay, or back that way, goes under the bridge, under a little bridge to Aransas Bay. But right in here, there's some rookery islands in the center, and this is what we call the ski basin. And jet skis and water skiers will just sit there and circle those islands. The white tents that you see off in the distance are getting ready for, what month is this? I think what event is coming up. That's our other fairground. Well, I'm glad y'all are enjoying this. I've got one little short jaunt left. Get this back in its holder. And oh, I don't know if y'all can see it. The Longhorn statue. Alright. Oh, my foot. Alright, hang on. Side trip. Oh my god, it's on fire. So evidently, one of the things that a lot of you people won't have to worry about that we do here, fire ants. Woo. I just got lit up by about half a dozen fire ants on my foot. Hi, Chihuahua. Yep. They're called fire ants because the bite is comparable to touching a lit match to you. I currently have the sensation of like 1, 2, 3, I'd say about 6 or 7 matches burning on my foot right now. People that don't know how to drive. It's a dead end. You can't come down this way. But what makes those fire ants feel better? Ooh, little mullet. Soaking those fire ant bites. Oh, it feels so much better. So those are laughing gulls. This is the major thoroughfare through town. Oh, dude, this water is probably about, right now, probably about 75 degrees. So it's like perfect pool temperature water. Like I said, those are rookery islands with nesting birds on them. The laughing gulls. And right now I'm doing something I don't advise people to do, and that's walk around barefoot. Because we have oysters, oyster shell, and that stuff. But there's your seagulls. Dude, that like instantly made those ant bites feel better. But people come down here and they're casting out there. I mean, it's fun. You're not really going to catch much here. I don't know if y'all can actually see. I wonder something. Sunglasses. I think that now I can't see the screen because I don't have my sunglasses on. But I was wondering if that made it. Because I've got like, I mean the frame rate and everything's going to make it hard. I've got little minnows darting around me. I'll have to go back and view this and see if that actually did help. Oh, cool. So using my sunglasses as a polarizing filter worked. Yeah, build a raft. Unfortunately, there is also still plenty of stuff that I would be able to pick up as resources. The plastic and oh, there's some perch, or pinfish. They're actually pinfish. Everybody here calls them perch. But every now and then I'll see like the silver flashes of their little bodies. So on future episodes, that is actually our beach park. On future episodes, I'll actually bring y'all out to the beach park, historic downtown Rockport. We'll go down there to some of the galleries, stuff like that. There's a couple of quirky shops that are fun to go to. But this is my town. Oh, and let's see. Zoom in. I'm trying to look at this on camera. So if there's the blue roof, we come around, there should be another blue roof. Let's see here. Where's my finger? Oop. That white roof, right behind it is George Strait's house. So like the big boat that you see right there, like straight across from it is George Strait's house. For you young people, you may not know who George Strait is, but if you were listening to any country music in the like 80s, 90s, George Strait was the king of country. So, I would like to thank all of you for joining in on my merry adventures today. Showing you around my little town. And I want to see what could... No, not that button. Alerts, streaming settings. I was trying to see if I could actually raid from here. And nope, you can't actually raid from here. But thank y'all very much for hanging out with me and coming to see what my town looks like. I hope y'all did enjoy this. I am going to go back and watch it at different periods to see how, look, more minnows, how the stream quality was on the parts where I was driving and stuff like that. For those of you that are wondering about the Streamlabs app, we are, I guess, technically a 4G area. On this trip, I was fluctuating between 2 to 4 bars out of 5. Now, bars really don't mean anything, but just letting you know that it wasn't a super solid signal, and we're not some high power 5G town. So if you think that you may want to try some mobile streaming, I could tell you, after playing around with them for a little bit, the Streamlabs app is way better than the Twitch app. Just on my last stream, looking at the differences, Twitch almost starts pixelated. And it just goes downhill from there. And this, the latency was a lot better. No, actually, I just opened it up and started using it. I think native, if I flip this, I can actually see more stuff. I mean, you're operating at 30 frames a second, but you're not doing a crazy game. And my bit rate has fluctuated between 2200 to 3800. Whoa, I just took a major dip. It just dropped down to 1700. Now it's stabilized back out at, I'm at 18 or 38, 33. Honestly, I guess it's when I flip. And like, I'm flipping between portrait and landscape, and it's keeping it all straight. Whereas the Twitch one, I think if I turned sideways, it actually flipped it sideways. So thank you all, and I will check you guys out on your streams probably a little later on tonight. Just decided, I know it was completely unannounced and everything, but just decided to do a little stream. So from Little Bay in Rockport, Texas, thank you to all my Vikings and Valkyries.